participating, but they are restaurant owners and this is not a good time for them. So we will be recording so that they can engage with the material as we go. So first off, for all that are here, welcome. It's really good to see some familiar faces and some new faces. My name is Emily Kazem. I'm the executive director of the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion, and my nonprofit is hosting this wonderful series of webinars. But the real treasure in this series is the business experts who are going to be sharing their wisdom with us. So we're really excited today to have Vivian Shimoyama, who is one of my board members. The list of her accomplishments goes on and on. I'm sure that we'll get to learn more about her today. But she is here to kick off the series and to lead our discussion as well. So before I turn it over to Vivian, one last thing I wanted to mention is that LBCEI has recently taken over this really amazing AI platform to help businesses network and provide resources. So I'm going to be sharing about this platform. It's a website called lbceihub.com. I'll share the link in the comments. But it is a really amazing platform, and you can register so that you can be part of this network of resources and just business network. So I'll share that. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Vivian to kick us off.
Great. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. And thank you so much, Emily. And thank you for all the great work that the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion does. This is one of our small business initiatives, and you're going to hear more about how you can get involved in small business, working with small business resources, as well as get specific resources for your business, and then some of the work with the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion. So do you want to pull up the agenda first? Now, there's going to be different times where we'll have, I may call on a few of you to share some of your business stories. But as you know, the seminar is only an hour. And so we just want to make sure that we have enough time to present the information to you. The other part is as a resource. The other part is to be able to engage you in a conversation. As Emily mentioned, the reason why you're putting your name in the chat is because we do want to make sure that people are acknowledged, especially if they come to all of the sessions. So as Emily is pulling this up, I'm going to let you know more about what we're going to cover today. So part of it is who we are, the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion, why we're all here. Why did you come here to engage yourself in wanting to know more about small businesses? We'll have an overview of the CEO Forum, the program schedule. You'll find out more about how we can work together. The key subject for this particular session is Foundations for Growth, Vision, Mission, Values. This is really, really core to the foundation of a business. Sometimes people feel like they can skirt around this, but I will tell you, I've worked with thousands of business owners, the people who focus on foundations of growth, vision, mission, values, really are able to take their business to a different level. And then we'll talk more about your contact information and when the next session is. So a little bit about our CEO Forum. This was formed for the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion. The reason why we call it the CEO Forum is because we want to take you as the business owner, whether you be the founder, whether you be the president, whether you be the sole proprietor, whatever you want to call yourself is fine. The reason why we call you CEO is because we want you to think with the hat on of someone who was building a business and building an enterprise. And once you've attended our seminars, and once you've attended and graduated, maybe you'll come to all the seminars, is you'll become a part of our network of CEOs that have not only gone through the CEO Forum, but people who are supporting one another. So that is really why we formed the Small Business Initiative, because we want to have business owners support one another. The other thing is that through my many years, as Emily mentioned, of working with small business owners, is I have worked with so many different experts in various fields. And so you're going to get an opportunity to do is hear from some of those business experts. And we selected subjects that are really subjects that individual business owners always have it as top of mind. We've also selected some of the subjects that people don't quite have top of mind, but it is so critical for the growth of your business. And so we want to just make sure that you have that information. And then the other thing is, so is the seminars go from September 13th, today, through October 18th. Then we have a graduation session that is on the 25th. And so you'll get a chance to celebrate together. So let me go through what the sessions will be. We'll cover over the next 6 sessions. If you could just move to the next slide, Emily. So the first session we're going to talk about vision, mission, and values. The second session, can you move to the next slide, Emily? The second session, we will have Max Ordonez. Some of you may have worked with him. He's not only has an accounting and finance background, but he also has worked with many business owners through the small business development centers, as well as through his own company, and is one of the advisors that works with the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses organization. So he will talk more about bottom line, but don't think, hey, I don't want to go to that session because I don't really want to hear about finance. I'm just prepping you because finance is critical to every business. And whether it be debt funding or whether it be equity funding, people need to know not only their financial statements, but the foundations of finance. So basically what you can think about is just talking about we will have a 1-hour session to be able to talk with you about some of the finance situations that you can be in, not only getting access to capital, but also the side of making sure that you are, Emily, I think it's jumping. Can you go to the one that's a program overview? So to make sure that what you're doing is you're setting up your organization so that you understand approaching your banker, understand the various ways to get access to funding. And also, Max has done a lot of work with some of the businesses and getting them different levels of funding. And so, it's really important that you just know what you have access to. There will be a session that will talk about marketing. Most business owners always want to know more about marketing. And so the idea of it for you is to be able to know about some of the traditional methods of marketing. And then how does that integrate with social media marketing, which is another 2 sessions. Lizette Flores will be doing the marketing session. She's worked with organizations like DirecTV, Disney, and many business owners. She also is doing the work with the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion for Shop Long Beach, which is a rewards program that the city is partnered with LBCEI and Localize. So you'll hear more about that program and how you can engage in that for your business. And then the social media sessions, what we found was we tried to pack, when we did the CO form last time, we tried to pack everything in one session, and it was way too much because Lori Anding had a wealth of information. She's worked with global companies, and she just has what I found a practical way of being able, even if you don't feel like you want to engage in social media, which maybe some of you don't feel that way, but if you do, she really nets it out to how practical it can be and how the steps that you take can be very cumulative over time. So she's a good messenger for that. And then the last session will be driving results. And that's the part where we really take a look at, especially for those of you who have participated in all the sessions, is we will have a closer look at some of your businesses and be able to talk more about what are some of the results that you want to be moving towards. The other piece that we will have is that in each one of our sessions, we'll select someone who can do like a 1-hour session with one of our business experts. So just know that that's part of you being in the chat. That's also part of you being on the call is you'll be able to do a 1-hour session with various speakers. Emily mentioned the LBCI Hub, which has our partners about small business resources. And then October 25th is our in-person. We'll all come together so that we celebrate you in going through the sessions. Whether you come to one session or you've come to all 6 sessions, you get to celebrate with us, okay? Okay, so why don't we move on to the next slide and just talk more about, kind of all these online forums. Basically what ends up happening is what we want you to know is that, you're business owners, you take time out of your day. If you're going to talk with other business owners, we will be calling on a few of you where we have time to have more of a conversation. We want you to know this is a trusted environment. We will be posting the webinar on our, as Emily mentioned, for those who missed the session, on our website. So just know that, this is going to be accessible to many. But what I've always found with business owners is the peer-to-peer learning is really important. So whether you have a success story you want to share, or whether you have a challenge, this is really critical for other business owners. And I can't tell you how much it inspires others. Participate in the online polling. We have there, Emily, I'm not sure if you're going to do an online poll for today, but I know that the team is prepared to do some online polling. And so, please, if you get an opportunity, participate in the polling. We will have a Q&A time, as people be considerate of the talk time so that we get to go through all the questions. We want to make sure everybody respects that, sometimes people say things and they think it's funny, but it's really not. And so we just want to make sure everybody is sensitive to one another and considerate of one another. We want you to positively encourage one another. And if you've missed a session, you know what? We're going to have them posted, so you'll be able to see all the sessions on the website. Okay, so why don't we move into the core of what we're talking about? And actually, Emily, before we move into that, I'm going to just see if there are any questions out there. Do we have any questions from anyone? Can you see the gallery? Are you able to see if anybody has their hand raised? Or the other way to ask questions during the session is, please feel free to put them in the chat. Emily will read them, and we can either answer them at the end, or she can read them to me as we're going along, okay? We just want you to have a way that that you can not be accessible to sharing your thoughts, okay? So why do we want to talk about vision, mission, and values? And it's really because on this one slide, it says vision without action is a daydream. So, I have so many people that come to me all the time and they say, they want to tell me about their great idea. They want to tell me about their business, and they want to tell me about the vision that they have for their business. But you know what? The vision is the core of where people need to go. But in order to turn that into a business, people have to take action. And so what we always say is action without a vision is a nightmare. So when you think about it that way, what it means is, if you're taking action all the time, but you don't have the vision piece down, then it can mean that what you're doing is always putting out fires. And so, the idea of it is to have a vision, to be able to dream, to be able to think through where you want to go and what you want to do with your business, but also take action, because action helps you to move forward. But don't skip the piece of vision. Okay, it's because the vision is really important. Otherwise, you're going through the method of what they call working in your business and not on your business, because what you're doing is you're working in a reactionary mode. So that's why I want you to put your vision hat on. Okay, so what is a vision for your business? Is, if you think of it this way, is when you start your business, or when you start growing your business, everything takes time. And so, what you want to be doing is looking 5 years out. And so, Emily, can you move to the next slide? So what you want to do as a leader is, what you want to think about is, what will my business or organization do? Because you're the leader. That's why you called you the CEO. You have the vision. You're the leader. What do you want the future to be? And what's inspiring in my vision statement? What is inspiring in my vision state that not only inspires you as the CEO of the company, but it also inspires anyone who wants to partner with you, anyone who wants to work on your team, anyone who really could be an alliance with you, a customer. So think of it this way, is that the more you can get that vision statement down, the more that you can engage people in the why. Why are you doing this? Why did you start this business? I often ask people all the time, why did you start this business? What is unique about your business? And more than that is, why do you keep it going? What is it about this business? And that's where the vision comes in. So I'm going to give you like just a minute. And I want you to write 3 sentences about your vision. And I'm going to ask a few of you to read out what you think the vision is. Now, some of you may already have a vision statement, but this will give us an opportunity to have you use that brain muscle around vision because vision statements, mission statements, and values are always evolving. They're not set in time, but they have to start somewhere. So if you haven't already created or developed a vision statement, this is a great start for that. Or if you have a vision statement, this would be a great time to share it. So let's give everybody about 60 seconds, Emily. Too bad we don't have a little clock. I'm going to have a few people read out what their vision statement is. This is the why. Are we almost at our minute?
We are 5 seconds.
Okay, so jot a few more words down. And Emily, can you see if anyone has a hand raised or anyone would like to?
I don't see any hand raised, but if anyone wants to unmute themselves and share, or if you'd like to put it in the chat, now would be a great time to do that.
So just because I know Emily Woodman Nance, she's like, oh my. Emily, would you be willing to share your vision statement?
I know. I was looking at your example and then I just started massaging mine. But this is what I believed for us. I say we believe we will be the premier communication platform for U.S. long-term care healthcare providers and families, because by the year 2030, 75 million baby boomers will be 65, and 70% of them will require some form of long-term care. It's long, but
It's good. It's long. It has a lot of great information in there. But you're right. It's probably going to need a little bit more, right? Like getting it a little bit more concise. But can you please share more about your business with everyone, and then they can see how that vision statement matches what your business is.
okay. Our business, what we provide a communication platform for healthcare providers to communicate patient care updates to families who have loved ones in long-term care facilities.
Okay. So that was really very, very concise. And so when we move to mission statement, that's pretty close to what the mission statement is. It's the what you're doing. Is there anyone else? Thank you very much, Emily. Thanks. We really appreciate you. Is there anyone else who would like to share their vision statement? It doesn't have to be refined. It may be an opportunity for you to share with everyone what you do.
Vivian, I can share.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would like to share, but normally you can go first, please.
I was just going to share what's in the chat, but I can do that after.
Alrighty. So really quickly, I just wanted to share. My name is Jocelyn. My last name is Howard. I'm with Howard Coaching and Consulting. Hello, everybody. Our focus at Howard Coaching and Consulting is to provide students with career development while they're in college, to lessen their academic paths and reduce student loans and all this madness. Our other goal and mission is to support businesses with workforce solutions. So a lot of employers that are working with adults with disabilities, I'm a supported employment specialist and provider. So we want to make sure those individuals are advocated for and the employer is supported. And then last but not least, I support small business owners and entrepreneurs with business planning, pitches, designing those pitches, networking, so they're not out on this island alone. And so in the next 5 years, or where I would like to position the business, is to make sure that we have secured um, multiple contracts when it comes to working with like after school programs, high schools, as well as different career centers on the college campuses. A big part of my focus is teaching the importance of community service and volunteerism, and that is being a safe space for networking, building skills, and leveraging yourself. Again, we have so much that we want to offer, but that is the focus when it comes to Howard Coaching and Consulting, is to be able to provide those services and consult companies and making sure that they're able to provide what they're wanting to provide to their consumers.
Okay. So Jocelyn, thank you very much for sharing. We really appreciate that. And that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
really a great start, because what you're going to start doing now also is writing. You, if you want to have it written down, you write all that down so you can kind of wordsmith that a bit. But can I ask you one more time then? Is, if you could say in one sentence, what is the why, the vision for why you do what you do in business?
Mm, if I could say it in one statement, right now, as a society after the pandemic, everyone is confused as to what are the trajectories when it comes to employment, business, or school. And so we're wanting to reduce those anxieties and provide people resources and support in navigating that.
Okay. So as a vision, do you think that you have a vision to advance people through trajectories of success?
Absolutely.
But you see how that vision statement could encompass all under that umbrella of what you do? Doesn't have to
True.
be that particular vision statements, but they are some of the ways that the picture is really big, right? And so under this umbrella now are all these things that you do. That's what a vision
Okay,
is. It is big.
Vivian, what was that phrase you just said? What was that again?
I was to advance individuals through trajectories of success. Something
Nice.
like, right? Those are your words, right? We just but
Less
yeah,
words, a lot
this,
less words.
yeah, this can get people moving, right? This can get
Yes.
people saying, "Oh, well, how do you do that?" Or, "Wow, that's a really big vision, Jocelyn."
Thank you. And then you don't get all these, uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Okay,
Then
all
you're
right.
gonna say,
Thank you.
then you're gonna just jump into that and say, "Jocelyn, this is how we do it." Okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for volunteering. And I want to thank Emily for volunteering too, because sometimes when you think about it, is that that's how entrepreneurs learn, right? It's our peer-to-peer learning, it's our listening to one another, it is being able to share information about your business. And each time of the vision, mission, and value statements, they evolve over time. So don't think, hey, you know what, I got it today and this is what I'm going to use. It keeps changing. So think of it this way. I mean, I've have some examples in this presentation because they're big companies, but these big companies that have been in business for many, many years, 50 plus years, they keep evolving their statements. But if you think of it this way, be the global leader in convenient foods and beverages by winning with purpose. Now, what does that have to do with me drinking a Pepsi, right? But that's exactly it. It engages all the people that work with them, all the strategic alliances, all the partners that could possibly work to be a part of what their vision is. And that's what you want. You want people to feel like they can be a part of your vision. Okay, so Emily, you said there's some in the chat that people wanted to share.
Yes. So there's one in the chat that I think really perfectly encompasses what you've just talked about, Vivian. And if Dina would like to explain more, we can give her the floor. But Dina Feldman of Feel Good Salsa is her vision statement is to be the leading shared food facility in Long Beach.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Did I ask you a question?
sure, I'm in a public place.
Okay. We'll just ask you a quick question because we can, does it have to be in Long Beach?
Not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily.
Okay.
Maybe in the
Okay.
South Bay area.
Okay. So just asking you because once again, you've got a big vision, right? So premier shared food. And so people will just ask, well, what does that mean? What does shared food mean, right? And so that's why I just said instead of them focus on in Long Beach, maybe you just say premier shared food facility, or if it doesn't have to be a particular facility, it could be methods too. Then what would, is there another word that you could use that is all about you being the global leader in shared foods? So your company is a global leader in shared foods. Okay, so think through that piece of the vision, because this is what helps you to really set the pace for your business, because that is a big vision that can help move your business forward in a totally different way. It will open up different doors. Doesn't mean that you can't phase in territories like Long Beach first, then South Bay, then this. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't confine you. What it is it makes you be a global leader in shared foods. Okay. Okay. Any more in the chat before we move on to vision?
Yes. So Vanessa Vega, Vanessa, I apologize. I don't know the name of your company, but I will by the end of today. Shared a little bit of background in the chat about where her business got started. And then she said, I see my company growing in a way where we become a one-stop beauty shop for all women, men, and teens to come and feel amazing about themselves.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Vanessa, what do you think we're going to net that to?
I'm where I think you're going to net that to. I'm not quite sure. I'm interested to see what you have to say, though.
Okay, Emily, read that again, because it is that. It is that, but there's a few words we take out.
All right. So once again, this is from Enhanced by V, Vanessa Vega's business. I see my company growing in a way where we become a one-stop beauty shop for all women, men, and teens to come and feel amazing about themselves.
Okay. So, Vanessa, then what your vision is to make women, men, and teens feel amazing about themselves.
Yes.
Okay, so then we're going to go to the next place, which is mission. That's how you do it, okay? But at least what it does is engages people. They'll be like, well, what do you do then? How do you do that? Okay. So what you're trying to do is get people to move into your vision. That's all. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, that's good. You got it already. You have it. Enhance V is right.
Enhanced by V, yes.
Enhanced by V makes women, men, and teens feel, did you say amazing about themselves?
Yes.
Or feeling good. Or feeling good. Is that what you said? Good about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Okay. Okay. So everything else you're going to put under that umbrella. The products, the services, how you do it. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Let's take, thank you very much for everyone who was willing to share there. So let's just take one final look at forming a vision statement. And you're going to do this on your own, and is just be concise, make it easy to read, make it memorable. This is what you want. You want to be memorable. You want your statement to be memorable. It's big. You might say, oh, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I can say that. Well, yes, you can, because this is how you engage people in your business. Because you might say, well, I don't really think I'm going to be a global leader. Yes, you probably will be. So think of it in terms of what you have a willingness to commit to. That's all. Be clear, have objectives, have focus about what you want to achieve, make it future oriented, because obviously it takes time to get there, right? Where your company plans to be. It'll help you to set strategic direction. These high level words will help you to set strategic direction about what direction you want to go in. And it challenges your company to move forward. It challenges you to achieve. So if you think of an IKEA is, you go in there and for those of us who've gone into an IKEA, we have seen their products, we have seen their service, but did we ever know that what their vision is to create a better everyday life for many people? I mean, this is what drives this global company that has, outlets around the world. They want to make everyday life for people better. Or if you think of the Nike, is bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete. And then they had to explain what an athlete is in the world. If you have a body, you are an athlete. So everybody has a body, right? Everybody can engage in a Nike product in some way. Because they want you to consider yourself as an athlete. And then Patagonia, many of you might know, they do a lot of work with sustainability. So they have been at the forefront of really looking at how do we make sure that people are respecting our environment. So build the best products, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. When you read that vision statement, you would not know that it means I go to buy a Patagonia a pair of boots or a vest or a jacket or whatever that is. You wouldn't know that. But of course, they've branded their products over time. But this is their reason for being. This is what their vision is. So I hope that all of you have got a good sense now, because this is the foundation of your business about vision. Okay. Okay, the next one that we're going to move on to is mission statements. And a mission statement is what you do. So this is actually what I find with working with business owners is that this is not as difficult, right? Because each one of you were able to tell us what your company does. It kind of explains like maybe the territory, Long Beach, South Bay, global. It also explains like who might be on your company, what your expertise is. So this is the what do you want the people to know about your business? What do you want the customers to know? What do you want your employees to know? This is the what we do. And so this is when I say much easier is because you have this in action. What you have to watch for with your mission statement and the what is that what you don't do is you don't define it so much that people say, oh, well, they wouldn't want to do that. Or, like, so if it means that, if you think of it this way, is that especially for a service company, is maybe it's an architecture firm and they've defined their what so much, so far defined that someone wouldn't consider them for a construction project. And they do make to build. And so, think of it this way is that what you want to do is you do want to communicate so that your employees know this is their charge. It is your employees' charge. It is your charge as far as what to do, how to implement what you do every day in your business, how to move forward, how to serve your customers. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't confine you to these are the only things we do. These are the only products we have. These are the only services that we have. So the what is a lot easier for people to develop as a mission statement because they're pretty clear. You're pretty clear about the products and services that you provide. But let's go to values then, and we can have examples of mission and values at the same time. So here's just a couple of mission statements, just so you know, and you can get a copy of these slides too, is a mission statement. So say for Starbucks is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, one neighborhood at a time. So the reason why that is a mission statement more is because they have put in there that even though it's kind of a very high level, is you can get a good sense that they have something for you to drink there. Right. And they probably have more than that now. That may be an old mission statement. They may have refined that a little bit more. But as you can see, it gives people more of a sense of what is provided. And it also gives people a sense, employees a sense. This is important for your employees. Because as you build your team and you bring on new people, what you want to make sure is that you're creating the culture, you're creating what you want them to do. And by having a mission statement, you will be able to keep refining that. You'll be able to communicate that clearly and refine it. And I'll give you one example is, through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, we had many business owners. Well, we did vision statements, mission statements, and refined those statements and then drilled them down to the values. And what people did then with those statements is, and it took time. I mean, it took a long period of time to get the initial statements, then have people weigh in on those statements, take a look at them, and then for them to feel comfortable, maybe take it back to their employees and refine it even more. But I was really, really happy when I would go into a business. One of the businesses I went into, it was a transportation and trucking company. And he had his vision, mission, and value statements. He had it engraved on a piece of glass. It was in the front of their foyer. So it was easy for our employees to see as they came in. It was easy for their customers to see when they came in. It was a way for them to be able to communicate. It was a message of communication of where they want to go, who they are, what they want to do, and what they valued. So, I say this to you because it takes time to put that into place, but I do think you're going to see that what it does is, as a leader of your company, it makes it so that it is much easier for you to communicate and keep people going in the same direction because they understand. There's clarity as far as what you, as the founder, the leader, the direction you want to take the company. So think of the mission statement as the what we are doing, okay? And then also very critical for your employees. Okay. And then let's go through the values. Is the values of your company is what helps create the culture in your company. So, sometimes you'll see in the news something that says, well, that was a toxic work environment. I see that more and more. And part of that happens sometimes because, we don't take the time in our business to really look at the core values. What are the core values that you have personally? What are the core values that you want transferred on to your employees as you build that work environment? So some of that has to be inclusive. So thinking about this way. So what do you value? What do you value first? What do you stand for? What matters to you? What would you want others, your employees, to be able to stand for and what matters to them? As you build your business, the team members will get a good sense of what your values are. They will get a good sense of who should join the company because of their values. Do they meet the values of the company? And people are able to demonstrate leadership because they know what the values of the company are. So I'll take it another direction for you too, is that when people don't know what the values are, they create their own. And this is where, when you think about the culture of your company, is then turned into what your employees value, what others value. So it kind of gets away from what you not only personally value, but also how you would want your employees, as well as how you would treat those individuals. So, many times in value statements, I don't know if you've ever seen like Panda Express. When you go to the Panda Express, some of them do, not all of them, because some of them are not, some of them are franchises, but they have on their wall their values, and so that all their employees know what the values are. And some of it may be related to customer service. Some of it may be they want to be a global leader. But think of it this way, is that you start the value statements, your employees work with you to refine them, and then they help to make sure that you have a very positive culture in your company. So, if you're thinking of it this way as, okay, right now, it's just me, or you might think, well, right now it's 5 people and I think that they know my values. It's not about assuming, because when we assume, what ends up happening is our employees create what they believe are the priorities of their values. So I want you to take 1 minute and jot down 5 values that you think for you and your company, you would want your employees to know, or that you would want to start as the base for your company. And then we're going to have a couple of people share their values. Now, you could put it in the chat too.
We've got some great ones in the comments, Vivian.
Okay. Is our minute up?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, is there anyone who would like to read out their values and talk about their business? Otherwise, we'll go to the chat. Ooh, yes, good ones.
I can do it. I put mine in there. Mine are collaboration, because I believe we need to collaborate internally and externally with other organizations. And then I put innovation, because I feel like we need to have our finger on the pulse of where the healthcare industry is going and technology. And then I put superb customer engagement, because ultimately we want to be the premier company. We're at their side. Service is sought out when families are considering care for their loved ones. And we want to work smart by leveraging effective and efficient ways to complete tasks, while also managing our time and quality of work. And fun. I want to have a fun work environment, because it's fun getting things done and working together on a passionate common purpose.
Okay, Emily, thank you so much. And Emily, can you tell me over what period of time that you developed those values?
Has it been a year or so? I'm still morphing them and working with my team, fine tuning them and fine tuning them. So yeah, it's been, over a year.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm asking because, I think that when you shared this, there's a lot of clarity and why you use certain words, and also what that means to you and your business and your employees. So thanks. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to share theirs?
I'd like to once again point out Dina's, because I know Dina's business and her core values as a person, and I think that these align really well with her core values. So people over profits, planet over profits, community-centered, philanthropic, and sustainable. And these are the values that flow out of Dina as a person. So it's beautiful to see them aligned in her company as well.
Okay, that sounds good. Yes, and so you can see, I want you to see how different too. Okay, this comes from the individual, the leader. Not only does it come from the leader, but it directly relates to the work that's being done by the organization. And in many respects, if you think of it this way, is unless someone knew what your values were, they wouldn't know internally what the culture of your company is. We would know that from hearing what Dina's is. We would know that from hearing what Emily's values are. Okay, so this takes it another step for why people want to be your strategic partner. Why do people want to engage with you? Why would an employee want to come to work for you? It also helps on the employee side because sometimes employees that come onto the team do not match the values. And so it isn't that they have to have those values or they have to match the values. But I do think what businesses find out as the leaders in the business, as the owner, as the CEO of the business, is what you find out is that the individual may not be a fit for the business. And so that's where you can determine that. If someone said, Vanessa's got a great list here: teamwork, honesty, customer service, hard work, growth, respectful communication. Say an employee does not want to provide good customer service. This is one of the core values of the company. And so, obviously they could go to another company and maybe that isn't a core value, but with Vanessa's company, it is a core value. The other part is respectful communication. Say there's an employee that does not practice that. And they've been counseled on that too. This is where you see this thing where core values are important to be communicated throughout the organization, because someone would be able to speak up in the company and say, you know what, this is one of our core values, and so does not communicate with me in a respectful way. And that individual, can go through various workshops and training, but if it really comes down to it, and that's not something that's a part of what they would be doing, then maybe it's not a fit. So do you see how this works, where it really helps you to build the foundation for your company? And who works in that company? Who do you partner with? Because they have some of the same core values as you. They don't have to have all the same values, but they have some of the same core values as you have. And you see another company and you see that they have these values. These are the values that they have in their company. And you think, you know what, they would be a good partner for us. So I really want you to think through the values piece, because it's easy to not form a vision, a mission, and a value statement. But what it does is as it's evolving over time for you, it really helps you make clear decisions about who do you want to partner with, where you're going to take your company, why people want to follow you. And so those value statements are very important. Okay. So we have about 12 minutes left. Okay. So I just wanted to, the other thing is I see in the chat that Mary Simmons is here with our AOC 7 neighborhood organization. So Mary, can you just share a little bit about AOC 7? Are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, everyone. And this is great information, but I'm trying to figure out how AOC 7 as a neighborhood organization can benefit from some of these great tools. And AOC 7 stands for Anaheim, Orange, Cherry, and 7. We're located in the central Long Beach area, and we're more known for like building capacity and safety, and of course now we do a host of things. But how does that, like, we're not necessarily a business, we're a nonprofit, we have a fiscal, but how does that, this is great information, like the core values, and like how do we so I'm sorry this turned into a question. How do we inform like our volunteers and other partners what our core values are? Like we can't have them plastered on a wall. Like how does that work? How can we benefit from all this great information?
Mary, what I would say to you is that nonprofit organizations like AOC 7 do actually work like businesses, like small businesses, because the only thing is you have a different kind of tax status, right? But you form your organization through the vision of a leader, through a vision statement, and you also form what you do through the mission statement for the organization, and you can also form your values the same way that we went through this process today for a nonprofit organization. So you're going to have to share to me why you think that that could be a stumbling block, because I see nonprofit organizations, they just have a different tax status. They are like, as they form, there's a leader of the organization. Now you're still governed by a board, which is different as opposed to being governed by individuals like the owners. But there's probably a core group like an executive committee that could take that into the organization, start the vision, mission, and value statement, bring it to the board, go to a strategic retreat, and then form those statements as well as those values for then your partners and for your volunteers to know that this is what the organization, the board, the leadership values. So I do think that you should be able to do that, and maybe share more about how you think that you might be able to take that back to your board or not.
No, I think so. We do have a mission statement. I think one of the major challenges is as we grow and develop and we start turning into something else, like a butterfly, and we start changing in we don't really necessarily change our mission statement, but it's definitely grown, and it's hard to like put all that in like a mission statement or a vision statement that we can share out with our partners. I suppose we can put it in, our newsletters, emails, and yeah, I don't know. It's just, you just got me thinking, because I wasn't sure if this business webinar was for us, but I see that it, like I'm so grateful that I joined. So and I just want to add one thing. And then so we invited Derek to the meeting. So he's our College Corps CSULB intern through April, and I believe his major is business. So I just wanted to shout him out for attending too.
Oh, great. I think that's great. And thank you, Mary, for being on the call. And also Derek, I think there's a way to form this, but please let me know. I'm happy to assist you if you want to form that vision statement, because what's interesting was even with AOC 7, you could be, the vision for the organization can be about, we're about advancing our neighbors. We're about, keeping neighborhoods clean and safe. That's what that higher level of vision is. That's all I'm saying to you. So I do think that I do think it's important for you to form a vision statement, because if you know your mission statement right now, and if you could drill down to 5 values, having a bigger mission statement is going to magnify your work. Not that you want to magnify it. It doesn't mean you have more work. It just means more people see what you're doing. Okay.
And then we have a hand up from Dina.
Okay. Hi, Dina.
Hi, everyone. I apologize that I'm in a public place, so it might be a little bit loud. But Mary, I just wanted to hop on and just say, number one, that I've had the honor and privilege of working directly with you guys, and I could totally see how creating a mission statement and adding your values to your website, to all your messaging, newsletters, any of the events that you guys have gone to, like
Oh, she froze.
vision and values, because it will attract more folks to the work that you guys are doing. It'll attract more donors, of course, and then, more involvement and engagement from the community. So it's definitely valuable. I was super jazzed to see you here. And off the top of my head, compassion, empowerment, advancement, kindness, God, I can think of so many acronyms adjectives to describe the work that you guys do. So I think it's just a matter of like putting it in to a nice, package so that you guys can convey that in like one felt swoop. Okay, that's all I have to say. I love you guys.
Thank you, Dina. Can you write that up for us?
Okay, now this is what peer learning is together, okay? Dina, thank you so much. And this is recorded, Mary. So she doesn't need to write it up. You need to watch this again. All the way to the end. But yes, so kudos to you and your organization, because she really went through a list of ways that you could, from what she has seen, that she envisions the values are, okay? And this is what we were talking about. It's fine if those are the values that you want to be a part of your organization. But if they are not, meaning you have others that you want to elevate, then that's why you got to create those values, because then your volunteers will say, okay, this is really important to AOC 7. These are the values that are important to AOC 7. Okay. So any other questions?
Vivian, really quick, can I interrupt? We are at time. I do have a poll that I'd like to send out. So I'm going to launch it now and people can answer it. I'll also include the questions in a follow-up email for those that can't stay on. But I think, Vivian, as long as I think will you have a couple minutes to answer some questions as well?
Yeah, I have a couple minutes. And the other thing I just want to remind you is September 20th, and that is the next session, is going to be the bottom line. On this PowerPoint, you'll see my email address. So if you want to send me some of your thoughts on vision, mission, and value for your organization, I'm happy to go through it and talk with you, okay? But yes, go ahead, Emily. And thank you, everybody, for attending today.
All right. Yes. So I put up the poll, and once again, I will include this in our follow-up email. Answering questions like this really helps us with our reporting. So please answer it either today or in the follow-up email. We're really excited for the next class, and I'll also follow up with the link to our business networking hub as well. So we'll send out information for the next class. And then if anyone has any additional questions, feel free to ask them now. We have a couple minutes. Vivian can stay on.
Oh yeah, this would take like a few seconds to complete.
All right. Yeah, if we have any questions or any comments.
I have a quick question. I host entrepreneurship workshops monthly. I wanted to know, what would we need to do to invite you as a speaker, or potentially discuss some of these same things with that other group of entrepreneurs that we work with?
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Emily, I'm sure, could be a speaker for you also. But I have my email address. Should I put it in the chat? And if you want to just get in touch with me or get in touch with Emily, we would happy to be supportive of your organization.
Okay, and just to clarify, you mean Emily Woodman Nance, right?
No. Well, it could be both of you. You're right. She's very good too, that Emily Woodman Nance. But our Emily too, there are all kinds of programs that LBCI is doing whether it be these webinars of the LBCEI Hub, we have the Shop Long Beach program. It'd be good for your entrepreneurs to know about it because these are all resources, free resources to advance them in their businesses. I think also, Jocelyn, I don't know if you have had anybody from the Small Business Development Centers come out and speak. They're also good resources because they have free advisory services. So, if you want to email me, I can get on a call with you and let you know more about other resources that may be helpful to your business owners. Okay.
Yeah, and then if I could add to that, just a couple things, Jocelyn. One, Jasmine Nelson from the April Parker Foundation is here. And Jasmine is one of the leads, if you might actually be the lead, Jasmine, on their small business support system. So Jasmine and her team provide amazing support to businesses in Long Beach, particularly Black-owned businesses. So that's a really good resource. In addition to that, the website that I mentioned earlier, Jocelyn, the LBCEI Hub, we have a place, it's a curated network. So there's a place where you can, if you're a member, you can put in events and highlight them through your profile. And then lastly, I would like to follow up with you because LBCEI is working on a special 5-year project with the city in an accelerator program to prepare entrepreneurs and startups for the Long Beach Accelerator. So our organization has been tasked with identifying and onboarding folks to prepare for the accelerator. So I would love to connect with you. Those.
Please, I'm looking forward to all the resources. I just came through the pipeline of DLBA and their recent business series. And so they propelled me forward, have the business license. So I'm ready to do more work and take advantage of resources and connect everybody together.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think I'm going to close the poll. I will make these questions available in a follow-up email so we can gather some more data. But yeah, I think that's it on my end. Vivian, any last words?
No, that's it. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I hope you'll join us for our next session and the sessions following that. And then also we'll look forward to seeing you on October 25th. That's a little ways away, but it's a celebration time for all of us. Okay. Okay. Have a really great day. Keep growing those businesses. Okay.